Bartone, like many racers, went to the March meet a couple weeks ago. He did not just watch the race. He competed with a front-engine top-fuel dragster, brand new car. It's owned by he and brother Michael Bartone. Mike, a former Indy winner, and they had a great time, qualified well, and took a round win.
You know, I want to go to that March meet so bad. There's so many good things that go on, and, well, so many good stories that, well, you can't tell on our ESPN2 air. Current weather here at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is gorgeous. Air temperature is 78, track temperature of 109. Water grains per pound of air way down there. That means it's dry here. The cars think they're performing at 3,900 feet of altitude. So those are the performance parameters for them. Our next NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series event is the VisitMyrtleBeach.com 4-Wide Nationals. You can catch qualifying at 6 Eastern on Saturday on ESPN2. The finals next Sunday at 7 Eastern. If you've never seen the 4-Wide Nationals, you got to see it at least once. It is a lot to take in.
Tony Bartone opened up the season right here on ESPN with a win in Pomona, running out of the number 6 spot, runner-up at the Division 4 race. So he's in his 3rd final already in the season. I believe that this year will be the most competitive that we've had in the race to the championship in top alcohol funny car. Some sensational runs. There's Tony. He's won in the alcohol dragster, won in alcohol funny car, won in the fuel funny car. Very versatile driver. Meanwhile, the Hough's already getting set for another 2nd-generation race here. The kid's getting set to run a junior dragster after making 1,000 passes in their driveway. Let's go to the stat guy.
Tell you, I love that Brian Hough family. I had a chance to speak to Frank Manzo during the off weeks. He talked about losing at Gainesville. He loved the fact that he made good runs, but he was definitely not satisfied. He wants to win. He did say he thought the run of the event at Gainesville was by Alexis DeJoria on Saturday morning. Nice props there from Frank Manzo for Alexis. We'll see him in Charlotte with the alcohol cars.
Yeah. Even when he's not here, Lewis working in those Manzo numbers.
Weird.
I believe he might be on the payroll. I'm going to have to check that out.
And the engines come to life. It's time to send them through the burnout box.
I was talking to Tony Bartone earlier in the weekend, and he said, you know what? I got the record at Pomona. I had the quickest. I had the fastest run. It was broken at Gainesville. And he said, you know what? I don't care about that. I don't care about the records. They're great, but I'm here for the Wally. And he said this weekend, he's planning on going home with one.
Got to do in that Long Island accent, though.
And I want to tell you something, Jamie. I mean, it's in the bottom of my heart. He's a lion dog. These guys love to have the performance numbers. Anytime you can say you've outrun Frank Manzo, you've been quicker, you've been faster, that's a feather in your cap. A lot of people can win races. Not many people can outrun Frank.
31 national event wins in the alcohol categories for Bartone. He's got 1 Nitro Funny Car win. You see the road to the final here for Brian Hough, who's looking to pick up his 7th national event win.
That 8 on the side of the race car means he finished 8th in the Lucas Oil Championship points last year, and that's pretty impressive. Tony Bartone on the other side finished 4th. And we mentioned that 2-step. He'll bring it to the starting line. They've got a preset RPM on that race car. He'll put the throttle down to the floor, and then when the light turns green, he just got to let go of the clutch and take off. It's a whole different way to race this car. They had some problems with it in Pomona. Had some problems for the drivers in the other lane with staging. We have not seen that here today.
Dead even out of the gate. But too much center point collision cars. Bartone streaks to the finish. 562, 257 miles an hour. And Tony Bartone has won in the alcohol categories once again.
They are very pumped up back there at the starting line. The new Ford Mustang, they're doing a great job with that race car. And Tony was right on his game coming out of the starting gate. Brian Hough was .027 off the starting line. Right behind him was Tony Bartone, and they went on down. And as he mentioned, coroner Rick Jackson, Steve Box, Chris Pearl, Len Larson, Scott Manning, Javier Gonzalez. That car right now is as good as anything we've seen in the class. We'll probably see that team down in Houston, which can become a melting pot in a couple of weeks for West Coast and East Coast race cars. Mendy Hough back on the starting line watching, went, oh, what could have been.
Oh, so close, but not to be today. It is Tony Bartone clapping his hands at the far end of the racetrack. Well, that is just the start, though. When we come back to the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, that's right, we got top alcohol dragsters. We're still handing out Peter Wally's. The NHRA celebrates its 60th season.